Welcome back to Gardening with Creations by DX & Co, everyone. So just wanted to take some time to show you the greenhouse move update, and so let's get started. Let me show you what's going on. You can see I got the greenhouse moved from the original garden, and it is officially in the backyard garden. As you can see, it's really coming together, and boom, there it is right in front of the other one. Let me show you what I got going on here. So I took the original frame from the greenhouse and just reused it, took the back piece off of the frame and just used the two sides in the front, because the plan is to take the back off the greenhouse so it's one flowing greenhouse. So as you can see, I originally took the front off. I showed you guys in that last video. Took the front off of the other greenhouse. And so let's step inside here. I'll show you what we got going on. So I moved it all as one unit. Just took it off the base, moved it as one unit, got it back here. Took the back panels out, and now I'm currently disassembling the actual back. These particular bolts are rusted, so I'm having a little bit of trouble there. But so the plan is to take this whole piece off here, and then you can see I still have the side trusses in from that greenhouse as well as these ones. So I'm debating, since this is a four-way piece, as you can see, I think what I'm going to do is actually take either this one or this one off. Haven't quite decided yet. I plan to marry this piece and this piece together, just run the bolts through it, so I think that'll secure it nice and tight. Now the question is still going to remain whether or not I have to take one piece or another off the A-frame, so we'll see about that. Still gotta probably disassemble that piece there, gotta disassemble these back frame pieces, but you can see the raised bed back there is all planted out. I'll do a video on what I planted and why eventually, but you can see all the brick pavers there. Hoping that I have enough, or I'll look for a sale and I'll continue those out here before I do the shelving up front. Shelving, you can see, is all actually underneath right now and doing great for some extra storage, along with some greenhouse pieces. Wow, say that 10 times fast, right? So very exciting stuff, guys. I will keep you updated along the way. Let me try to get this back piece off, and then as you can see, this thing's barely sitting on the frame, so I want to get it together before it gets too dark tonight so I can at least nail it down. We're expecting some heavy wind and rains through the next 3 days. This is the only dry day we've had all week. Great for the garden, maybe too much water in fact. This greenhouse is coming together. I'm already loving it, and I haven't even got it together yet. You can see I've actually got some panels popped out of the original greenhouse. That's on purpose. It's actually been watering these plants, the basil, so it would root a little bit better, as well as the ones I have there. So I'm actually, plus really creating some airflow with the front door off and that. So it's working out pretty well. I'll show you guys more on that. Let me get this finished up tonight. All right, so it's a little windy out. In fact, we're expecting some incredibly high winds, plus a thunderstorm for the next like 3 days. High winds again, possible tornado weather even. So I'm gonna do my best to try to get this secured as possible, as fast as possible. But let me show you what I ended up doing last night. So I took the entire back frame off. That's under here just for protection, but you can see I took the entire back frame off. So that this is the front rail frame here, okay? So that's the front rail frame, and that is the inside bracket for the top A-frame of the front greenhouse. The back greenhouse, that's that front rail and the other front rail. And then I noticed trying to butt it up that I couldn't do the A-frame pieces, so I ended up having to take the A-frame pieces off. I don't think it would matter, but I ended up taking the A-frame off the front of the greenhouse because I already had that stuff on there I had to take off anyway, so I figured why not, I'll just take the whole thing off. So here's the plan. As you can see, I was able to rest the main bar, but notice on this one here it has these two screws, but there's no holes in these tracks on the outside to put those screws in. So I think I'm going to drill the standard size bolt holes through there so that, let me see if I can lift this up, see those holes, so that I can run them through the standard hole. So I'll take a drill bit that size, and then same with, tripping over my own stuff here, same with this. You know, you've got this locking bolt here for these, but there's none obviously on this side. So there is the bolt hole already that from, you know, lining up. So I'll drill that standard hole and I'll use the same nut and screw there, and then we'll be able to pop our panels back in. We'll do that on both sides, and then just for added measure, I'll add in this piece back onto the other side here so that it goes all the way through the A-frame and locks through this piece. We'll run the bolt all the way through, so we'll have a double, basically, I think this is number 13 or part number 13, whatever, on there. So we'll have the one from both greenhouses, we'll have the bolt running through it, and so it'll just kind of secure it all up. We'll get this bolt in. Again, we'll probably have to drill a hole through to make it happen. So you can see it's a little gap right now. I gotta kind of shimmy it up or whatever. But I think that'll secure it up. I did actually put screws into the frame. I got the frame all the way tightened up against the other frame on the bottom. Put screws in it to hold it, just to keep it, you know, from blowing in the wind. And you can see I'm shaking it right now, and everything's pretty locked in place between the two. And that's not even securing those extra bolts, like I said. So that's what I'm going to do now. Get those all holes drilled. I'm just going to take a drill bit the size of those holes, drill through it. The metal, it's light metal, so no big deal. And then I'll pop the bolts through, tighten them down, and I'll feel a lot better with the winds coming, so on and so forth. So let me get that done. All right, welcome back. So temperature dropped dramatically. Wow, I can speak these days. It's about to start pouring, so I want to kind of show you guys an update. So I was easily able to drill through, get that screw in there. So now I've got a screw on both sides, nice and secure. You can see I tapered this with a piece of wood on the outside to kind of mend these two pieces together, the front and back, because I took obviously the middle of the frame out. So I've still got a solid frame all the way around. I'm going to extend the raised bed off that, more on that later. So just wanted to show you in particular. So I'm fighting with this, and here's the reason that I'm fighting with this. Look at these two different, this is the gutters, right? So this is my original greenhouse, as you can see from the fading, and this is, both of these are the exact same company, Harbor Freight, but you can see the one that I purchased has the panel goes down, and then there's these drain holes that drains out into the gutter. A little clogged, I need to clean them out. But then this version, actually the panel goes down, the water sheds off, and then goes into the gutter. So it's different. So these two tracks are actually different, and I'm having trouble getting them lined up. So I was able to, on the other side, drill through here into this piece, even though there's a cutout notch in this piece here. I was able to drill through kind of like right next to this hole and get one in, but the overlap on this is kind of a bummer. Let me take you around to the other side and I'll show you. But I was able to get all of that going. I was able to get that in there on the A-frame perfectly fine. So just for reference, I'm using a 1/4 inch drill bit is what worked out perfectly. So if you're wondering, a 1/4 inch drill bit. So I was able to get that in there, kind of seam up them. I've got a small gap in it. I don't think there's going to be much I can do about the gap. But as like I said, these gutters are two different size gutters essentially, or two different gutters. But you know, I've got a little bit of an overlap, but it's not bad. Not bad enough that I'm overly worried about it. I don't think I'm going to have a lot of water loss or anything in the gutters. I'm thinking maybe I'll come through and caulk it with some silicone caulk, and then that way I'll do like the aquarium safe one, so that way if I have water runoff and I can do my rain barrel idea, that I can still collect the water and water my plants without any concerns. So yeah, and that is kind of where I'm at. I feel a lot better about the storm coming, a lot more secure. Like I said, I've got it all in there. It was very easy to poke through there with a 1/4 inch drill bit. So pretty secure at this point. I just want to get that other top piece in, then I can pop in these panels back in, and I can start putting the front of the greenhouse back on, and essentially I'm done. So pretty easy mend together. Wasn't that bad, just had to make a few adjustments. So and then, like I said, I'll start laying out the bricks and so on and so forth, and we'll see what day I get that done. So bear with me. All right, so sunshine's coming back out, even though it's supposed to be thunderstorming right now. So we're gonna keep plugging away. So we got this bolt in here. This side lines up a whole lot better. It's still not lined up perfectly, but it's a whole lot better than the other side. So it must just be kind of a slight angle or something, but still ended up working out. Got all the holes in there. I ended up putting these pieces in, just can't see it. Let me go inside. I ended up putting the brackets in, just the bolts at the top here, just to support the A-frame, just kind of reinforce it. I did not put them through the bottom and or the other side. I might, we'll see how it does. But right now, I mean, this thing's pretty secure. I've got all the bolts in. This thing's not even moving. I just shook it. So I'm pretty confident. I'm pretty solid with the connection. I don't think there'll be any gaps once we get the panels in there. And any slight gaps, you can use silicone caulk or something. But I'm pretty happy with it overall. So I'm pretty excited about it. We'll see if this section here, which, I mean, it's not moving, barely moving. I think it'll hold snow weight. I don't think it'll be a problem. But I started working on the front, and in all of 5 minutes, because I had the pieces already laid out, got the bars in, got the supports in, got the cross braces in, about to throw the door on and throw the panels back in on all sides, and I'm officially done. So let me do that, and I'll show you guys what it looks like. All right, so let me take a step back here so you guys can see. And there we are, one long greenhouse. So we are talking 16 foot deep by 6.5 feet wide, right? So fantastic, and it feels huge on the outside and very spacious on the inside. So let me show you a couple of adjustments I had to make. So that last shot I told you I'm putting all the panels on. I was able to get all the panels on, no problem, except for a few spots, and let me explain. So this particular panel, right, has these grooves because this is the original A-frame. Well, remember, the A-frame that we put on there was from the back of the original greenhouse, so it has the track here, but on this side it's smooth, so there's nowhere for like the clip to actually sit and lock into. So being that that's the case, I decided I'd take, since we have extra ones of these bolts, why not? I drilled through the frame, ran the bolt through, and so I used the same 1/4 inch drill bit and ran that through. So I did that on this side as well as the other one. That's the only adjustments that I had to make as far as the panels are concerned. Probably should go with like a neoprene washer on there, which would be, you know, a waterproof, but it's not that big of a deal. If you wanted to, you could run a bead of silicone. You know, yes, it's a little off track here, but this thing's kind of still sitting a little funny. One other adjustment is this one right here. So again, same principle on the outside of this. So I have the clip with the rail here, but this is a smooth slot here because it is the brace for the front of the greenhouse from this back greenhouse. So you can see I've actually got it clipped in over there, but because you can tell this must be sitting on still a bit of a slant, it's kind of just bowing out. So I'm going to do the same thing I did up here. Just pop a couple of screws in there, drill them through, and then that'll just, you know, hold it. And I'll probably do two, one there and one towards the middle bottom. It's not going to hurt anything over time. It's just going to help seal it. The downside will be that I'll never really be able to take those panels out for airflow, but it's not that big of a deal. I can take every other panel out for airflow, right? So this is the only thing I hate about these greenhouses. The actual earwigs get inside these little panels, so you can flick them and they kind of fall down. It's kind of funny, but I hate that. Hate earwigs, pincher bugs, whatever you want to call them. So let me take you on a tour of just the inside here. Check this out. Again, I need to do some cleanup and lay the bricks, and then this will all be shelving. But look how spacious this feels. I mean, if any of you guys have the 6x8 Harbor Freight greenhouse, you know, for me it just kind of felt crowded, which always kind of sucked to have the in-ground raised beds on the ground. I step in there, I got my potting stuff and so on and so forth. So it really felt crowded, but I step in this one and man, I can't believe the space, you know. So I've got all my raised bed, elevated raised bed at the perfect 36-inch height. So I can weed and do everything that I need to, plant, trim my plants. I'm very excited. Like I said, all of those tags you see there are newly planted. And I will do a video on it really quick. I planted them 3 days ago, but look, just want to show you for some excitement. That's arugula. Yeah, I'm excited. So just a couple of days old and already. So I got to get this junk out of here. I got to lay the rest of these bricks and I'm excited. I've got my extended greenhouse like I wanted. So free greenhouse in the back, made it, matched it with my new greenhouse that I already existing greenhouse, and now I've got a 16-foot, I don't know, high tunnel like everybody likes to call it, but it's not. It's high tunnel's the arch, I know, wrapped in a 6mm plastic, yada yada yada. But you know, so this side here, same issue. Had the clips on here, didn't have them here, but since this one sits more level, it's fine. But the nice part about this greenhouse, the first one I had, has these lips right here at the top where the panel slides in, and also at the bottom. Well, look at the difference on the other one. It doesn't have those lips at all. So it's just being held in by clips. So I've said all along, I find it amazing that people like lose all these panels, they fly out, yada, and all that kind of stuff. But now I see why. You guys may have, I don't know which one's the old or new version, because like I said, I bought this one about 3 seasons ago. I believe my parents bought this one very much at the same time, but unfortunately, you know, same company, must be a different manufacturer, right? Because I mean, the track rails are different, the way it's designed is different. My personal opinion, I like mine better, no offense, you know, but the other one I don't like. It's flimsy, it's cheap, but you know, putting them both together, you know, there's a lot of weight to this. With those 2x6s on the bottom, you know, I definitely don't think it's going anywhere. I tried to pick this thing up just to make sure, and we're good to go. I mean, I've got a breeze to my back right now. Everything feels good. I've got to make some slight adjustments on the roof panels back there. That kind of looks like it's sagging or almost bowing in the middle, but honestly, it's nice and secure. I'm not that worried about it. These panels did take some damage due to some heavy snow and winds. They did end up kind of caving in, but they're still holding up. The only downside is this one here. Looks like it's cracking, and so these are my original panels. I may, since I have extra panels from like the front and back, may end up either cutting those to the side and kind of replacing some of these ones. It's only this side that took the damage, the other side didn't. So I may end up replacing some of those, or I've got some glass pieces. I might even get extravagant and cut some glass pieces to fit in there. And so I have an actual glass greenhouse right there. I'm worried about the snow weight and all that kind of stuff, but the glass that I have is actually glass from storefront windows. So I think it might be okay. We'll see. If you guys want to see a project on that, let me know in the comments below. Guys, there you have it. Just a quick update, or an update, a display, or how I paired the two of these greenhouses together. I hope you guys enjoyed this, learned something that maybe you want to do something similar. Maybe they don't have the 10x12 in stock, so you wanted to go with two of these, pair them together. You know, hopefully buying two at the same time would make it better, but I like the space in here. I'm really excited about this. Like I said, I'm going to have all shelving in the front here, so that'll allow me for an area to start all my seeds, pots and plants, so on and so forth. And it's pretty exciting, guys. I mean, I got a bit of an echo going on, which means everything's working. I love it. So I'm pretty excited. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up, share it out to some friends. Comment down below if you like this idea, or if you would have gone with two side by side, how you would have done it differently. Maybe you have some ideas on how I could have, kind of merged them or mended them together better. Give me some ideas, guys. Let me know what you guys think. As always, I appreciate you guys watching. I hope you guys are staying safe and enjoying your gardens.